It seems like so many of us spend our whole week looking forward to having some free time. We tell ourselves, once the weekend arrives, then I'll finally relax. But then the weekend comes, and somehow we don't. We pick up our phones, clean the house, we check our emails, start another project, or maybe we just sit there feeling strangely guilty, as though we're wasting the day. It's almost as if doing nothing has become harder than doing something. I think we tend to assume it's because modern life is busier than ever. And maybe that's true. But I don't think that's the whole story. Because even when there's finally nothing left to do, many of us still can't seem to rest. So why is it so hard to do nothing? It's tempting to blame the world, social media, our jobs, notifications, the endless pressure to be productive. And don't get me wrong, those things certainly don't help. But it's clear not everyone is experiencing things in the same way. Two people might go to the same park one sunny afternoon to relax and have completely different experiences. One person might lie on the grass for hours, feeling perfectly content. The other lasts 5 minutes before reaching for their phone and starting to scroll. They're in the same park, in the same world, at the same time, yet their experience of it differs dramatically. So perhaps this pressure isn't only coming from outside of us. Maybe it's coming from somewhere much closer. Think about the last time you met someone new. One of the first questions people often ask is, "So, what do you do?" Notice how rarely anyone asks, "Who are you?" Without really noticing, our culture is teaching us something. It teaches us that what we do is who we are. Our job, our achievements, our fitness, our hobbies, our relationships, even our attempts to become calmer can themselves become another achievement. And little by little, our sense of self becomes tied to activity. So when the activity stops, it doesn't just feel like we're resting. It can almost feel like we're disappearing. That's why just sitting quietly can feel surprisingly uncomfortable. It's not because your body needs something to do. It's because the image you've built of yourself does. Let's try a quick experiment. For the next few moments, don't try to improve yourself. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't replay yesterday. Don't even try to relax. Simply try to notice that you're here. Before the next thought appears, is anything actually missing? The mind will probably answer immediately. No, I guess not, but I should be doing something. Or I'm wasting time. This isn't productive. Instead of following those thoughts, Just be curious about them. Who exactly is it that needs to become more productive? Can you actually find that person outside of the thoughts describing them? Or do you just find another thought telling a story about who you are? It's rare that we ask this question. We tend to simply assume that the story is true. You'll often hear people say, "I get bored doing nothing." But I think boredom is fascinating, because when we're busy, our attention is always moving towards something. A screen, a conversation, a problem, a goal. Our minds are constantly occupied. But then suddenly, all of those distractions fall away. And perhaps for the first time all day, there's nothing that's demanding our attention. The mind doesn't quite know what to do with that openness, so it labels it boredom. Then it rushes to fill the space again. Phone, music, television, another task, anything except just remaining here. So maybe this thing that we've been calling boredom isn't actually boredom at all. Maybe it's just unfamiliar. I think a lot of us also tend to believe that peace exists somewhere in the future. After we've answered all the emails and we've earned enough money, after we've found the perfect relationship and we've finally fixed ourselves, peace is always one more achievement away. But I'm sure we've all experienced this. You achieve one thing, and almost immediately another appears. The mind slowly moves the finish line, again and again and again. Think about your favorite music. What makes it great isn't only the notes, it's also the silence between them. Without those moments of silence, there wouldn't be music. There would only be noise. But the silence wasn't created by the notes. It was already there, before the music even began. And it remained there throughout the song. And when that final note faded away, the silence was still there. I think peace is like that. Not something we manufacture after life becomes perfect, but something that's always present, even when life continues to unfold. I'm not suggesting that we stop working, or stop caring, or stop creating. Activity isn't the problem here. Compulsion is. There's a huge difference between doing something because life naturally calls for it, and doing something because you're hoping it will help you finally get to that point where you feel complete. From the outside, those two people could look identical, but on the inside, they're living entirely different lives. And I suspect that's why doing nothing can feel so difficult. Not because we're lazy or we're addicted to our phones, and not because we're failing at relaxation, but because we've slowly come to believe that our value depends on our activity. And if that's true, then stopping can feel uncomfortable. Because if I'm not doing anything, who am I? But I think that's the wrong question. I think the better question is, who are you before the mind begins to answer? Before your next thought, before your next goal, before the next achievement, and before the next distraction. Just this. Life is still happening. Sounds are still appearing. Thoughts are still coming and going. Nothing has stopped, only the struggle to become someone else. And maybe that's what real relaxation has always been. Not about escaping life or earning a break. Not about reaching the end of that to-do list, but recognizing that beneath all of the movement, there is something about your experience that has never rushed anywhere. And maybe this has always been enough.